Five on Your Sideline is sponsored by Side & Stricker Nobi John Deere.
Welcome into Five on Your Sideline. I am Corey Miller, and you may have noticed we got a new face tonight. Annie Kroll, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Corey. I'm so excited to be here. I really couldn't have come at a better time. We're in the middle of high school football playoffs. I mean, come on, and we're going to have to do a lot of kickoff, no pun intended. Let's start with some district semifinal highlights.
I love it. Let's get to the highlights. 10-0 Warrenton against 8-1 Parkway North. Huge game. North brought the heat on special teams tonight. This is a punt return touchdown for Messiah Smith. He's going to blaze right through that defense. This game lived up to the hype and then some. Back and forth, great catch by Warrenton's Mason Thompson. Warriors fire right back. Just before halftime, Warrenton trying to get 3 more, but North is there for the big-time field goal block. This game went into overtime, and late-breaking news, the Warriors pull it out, 28-21. CBC's Jeremiah McClellan wearing a boot and missing tonight's game at Marquette. Cadets knocking at the door. This pass is going to be deflected, and Robert Williams is going to grab it. Now, mind you, he already had 1 pick-6 in the game, and guess what? You can make it 2. He will go end-to-end. Lafayette takes a 28-21 lead. Marquette takes a 28-21 lead. Second half, CBC back near the goal line. The give is going to be to Courtney Rivers, and he is not going to be stopped. That score makes it 30-28 Cadets, and CBC goes on to win a close one, 44-35. Vashon and Clayton Brentwood combined for a team this year, and they've made it to round 2 of the playoffs. Clayton driving at the end of the first half. Nick Shamel to Aris Harris. Check out that stiff arm he just put on, right in the face. They're in the red zone. However, Vashon gets a huge goal line stand on 4th down as the first half ends. This one turned into a nail-biter, folks, but Clayton Brentwood moves on with the 23-22 victory. Now, let's swing it over to Annie Kroll, who has more on one of the biggest games of the week.
Exactly, Corey. Let's head over to Rockwood Summit now. It's been another undefeated season for the Falcons. The Fenton, Missouri team had an undefeated season 2 years ago, now pointing to their laser-focused secondary defense and an explosive running back for sealing a 9-0 record. The last time Summit was undefeated, it was back in 2021, reaching the playoff quarterfinals. Now, Coach Eric Stewart says they have a hungry group of seniors who were sophomores on that former undefeated team, including running back Elijah Stevens. Stevens had a personal best of 24 touchdowns this season heading into this weekend. Summit keeping their eyes locked on the semifinals and becoming the most successful team in school history.
I mean, just a lot of pride. I think we all take a lot of pride in what we do. We take it seriously.
Just continuing to build days, bring intensity and energy every day, not slacking off or like, yeah, we got this team beat just because we're Summit. We can't have that mentality.
I think we've got a pretty good junior program that's helped us sustain some success. And then our kids are starting to understand and buy into that culture from like 4th and 5th grade on. And they start seeing that there's a pretty high expectation for success here at this school now.
Standing in the way of the Falcons tonight was Parkway West. The Longhorns lost to Summit just 2 weeks ago. In the first quarter, a Summit touchdown early on ended up coming courtesy of, no surprise to anyone, the absolutely electric senior running back Eli Stevens fighting his way all the way to the end zone. Parkway responded pretty quickly after, though, with their own touchdown, and that was a pretty good one as well, coming from another running back, Jaron Boyd. And that is, well, he was left wide open. The junior just waltzing in untouched for a touchdown, and it will be actually Summit who keeps their playoff dreams alive with a final score of 42-22.
Great job, Annie. Lafayette played host to Francis Howe. The Lancers went no huddle with the opening kickoff. Jack Bell finds Zay Jones, corner of the end zone, quick Lancer lead. It would not last long, though. Maddox Duncan takes it in for the score on the next possession for Francis Howe, and we are tied. Then, next play after a Lafayette turnover, Adam Shipley finds Mizzou commit Jude James for the score. Lafayette made a valiant comeback late, but Howe wins 49-28. Timberland at undefeated St. Dominic. The Crusaders are looking to get back to the state title game this year. This was a good start. Brennan Chechen puts it up, and Connor Bierman finds it, and he's into enemy territory. Now, Thomas Polium scores a lot of touchdowns for St. Dominic, and he gets another one here. Look at this. Hand on the turf. He's not down. He keeps himself up. Oh, my goodness. Great score. Crusaders roll 45-28 over Timberland. SLU on the road at Rittner. Huskies trying to continue their impressive season. It's a tough task against the Junior Bills. Cody Cade rumbles into the end zone. That starts the scoring. Nice play on defense from the Huskies, though. Makai Bruce sits tipped, and he's there for the interception. SLU's offense, though, it is a freight train, and it kept rolling. Marco Sansone, he is a tough kid. Finishes off this run with a big hit. He pays for it. Ooh, but it's all good, though. Ryan Wingo, you know that name. Touchdown run. SLU advances with a 40-17 win. Hazelwood Central at DeSmet. Andy, the Spartans are ready to go for another state title. They're going to settle for a field goal early on here, though. The big leg of Ethan Waymuller comes through once again. That's good. Central will make it a game early. Jackson Somerville, check out this stiff arm. Oh, he's into the end zone for 6.
Gone.
He's into the end zone. Spartans respond. DJ White taking a short pass, and you think he's going to be stopped probably a couple times here, but joke's on you. Takes it all the way through traffic and all the way through the house. To the house, that is. DeSmet starts their playoff march with a 45-6 win over Hazelwood Central. Liberty at Fort Zumwalt North. That's right, we got more games. The students are a bit early with their Christmas gear, but the Panthers, they're always tough come playoff time. North gets in the backfield, and a couple Panthers converge for that sack. Then we go on offense. Sean Robinson will not be denied. Look at him simply willing his way into the end zone as Liberty defenders draped all over him. It paid off. Zumwalt North wins 28-7. It's not just football. We got some new state champs to celebrate today as well on the volleyball court. Congrats to Incarnate Word and Lafayette. They won their respective class volleyball state championships today in Cape Girardeau. Well done to all of those athletes. Up next, we've got soccer, and some more soccer from City SC's Do or Die weekend to exciting times for our local college programs. We have got you covered on the pitch after the break. With an entire week between games 1 and 2 of City SC's first-round playoff series against Sporting Kansas City, I think we're all just about out of things to say. We know it's do-or-die territory now, and the players have to rise to the challenge. So enough from me about Sunday's game. Let's hear from the man leading his team into battle.
It's something we kind of haven't been challenged with the whole year, right? Because it was never an equation, or it was never a question. And now we're left with the question, and it's almost an exciting one, because, what better place to go to Kansas and to, upset Kansas in Kansas at their home stadium. I mean, we know how it felt last week, and there's no reason why we shouldn't believe that we can do the same thing going into that stadium. So again, this week has been really energized. It's been good spirits and knowing that something's on the line that against problems we've never been faced with before. So, it's about us now coming to put us on display against all odds, of which pretty much the whole season was, and that's where we're going to start off the game.
SLU and UMass conference tournament quarterfinals. The Bills pull ahead on this goal from Mad Sistrop Peterson. Nice ball movement on that one, but UMass battled back in this one all the way to penalty kicks, where the Minutemen prevail to knock SLU out of the tournament.
We are overflowing with good soccer teams here in St. Louis. The SIUE men are one of the most impressive. They ended their season undefeated at 14-0-3, ranked 25th in the country, and own the most wins in the nation as well. It is a storied soccer history for the Cougars, and this team hopes to add their names to the list of great SIUE teams as the postseason dawns.
There's been 2 national championship teams here. There's been a ton of great teams that have advanced in the NCAA tournament and won league titles. We're very proud and honored to be a part of that rich history and tradition. We just did a banquet last week where we honored some alums and some of the few generations who have come before us. But we really don't want to compare. We'll let the others do that for us. We're just trying to put our best foot forward.
The Blues are back in town for a 4-game homestand that kicked off against the Devils tonight, and Annie, they desperately need to find some consistency.
You're not kidding, Corey. They sure do, and tonight was hopefully a step in the right direction. Full house at Enterprise for the Blues and Devils. Good start for St. Louis. Jake Neighbors gets the puck all alone and finishes 1-0 Blues. Later one, the new guy finally gets on the board. Kevin Hayes with a dirty goal in the front. He added an empty netter as well, and the Blues win 4-1 to kick off that homestand.
Well, tomorrow could produce perhaps the biggest win in the history of Missouri football. They take on #1 Georgia. The Tigers almost pulled the upset over the Dogs last year at home before falling just short, as you're seeing right here. Coach Drinkwitz knows the result of this game will create a lot of narratives, but he doesn't want his team buying in. Either way it goes.
After the game, it's not anything that we can control, but there's going to be two different narratives. The narrative is going to be if we lost, the season's over and there's nothing left to play for because of what was at stake in the game, which we know is not true. And if we win, we're going to be assumed that we're going to win the East, which is not true because we still have 3 games left versus SEC opponents. The job of the media and social media is to create narratives. Our job is to ignore them and try to be 1-0.
Illini are also back off a bye week. They'll be in Minnesota to face the Gophers. Good news potentially on the horizon for Brett Bielema's 3-5 squad. St. Louis natives and defensive lineman Keith Randolph and running back Reggie Love look to be close to healthy. Bielema has been impressed with how the Trinity grad Love has stayed, well, positive.
I know it's been frustrating for him. I think the part that I've really watched Reggie do is just his overall positive focus and energy, even those weeks when he wasn't playing. And he's been great with Caden. I think when you saw Caden's responses when it was the highlight of Caden's moment, right, the first thing he did is give credit to Reggie and Josh in particular. So speaks volumes, I think, to Thad and what he's been able to do in that running backs room. And excited to get Reggie out there because I know he's been itching to get out.
Great show tonight. That'll do it for 5 on your sideline tonight.
Woof, we covered a lot,
We
Corey.
covered a lot. We got a lot going on.
Love
That's
St.
Andy
Louis.
Kroll. I'm Corey Miller. Have a great night, St. Louis.
Good night, everybody.
Five on your sideline is sponsored by